Hey, it's time at Dish with D. That's me. Thank you for this video. It is time for the Weight Watchers weekly meeting technique. I do this for mostly my people who have the app only. They don't have access to the technique anymore. And to people who just enjoy my interpretation of the Weight Watchers weekly meeting technique. I have people who enjoy it, and it really warms my heart when you say that, because I'm just being me and sharing my opinion, my way of thinking, what I learned being on Weight Watchers for, God, consistently since 2018. I can't believe it. I know, consistently. That's a new for me. That's a new for me. It is. Wow. Saying it out loud makes it go, ooh. But I thank you all for appreciating. And if you know anybody that could benefit from this video, I highly recommend that you share it somewhere, because somebody told me, which I didn't really realize, that I'm the only one that does this. There used to be a day where tons of people did the technique. Am I the lone standing? That's scary. I'd rather have other people do it, honestly, because I feel like you get a little bit from everybody. You know, I don't want to hog anything. No, I love getting different takes from different, sources. So yeah. Alrighty, this week's technique. This is our last week of the playbook for October. This technique is managing high point foods. This technique helps members make a plan for when and how that they will enjoy higher point treats. Foods and treats, because let's face it, sometimes foods are higher point. Certain foods, because they're covered in cream and butter and all that fun stuff. Bad hair day. Oh, sorry. I was reading when they're telling you to turn your cameras off. Yeah, it's been a day. It's been a week. I had my tooth pulled last Monday. I believe that was after I filmed yes, I had my tooth pulled Monday night. So it's been a week, my lovelies. It's been a week. It's been sore. I think because, and I don't want to get into this too much because you're not here to hear about my tooth, but because it was a root canal crowned, it was not much there. If you ever had a root canal, they grind your tooth down so, and it's a very, very back tooth, and it's next to a tooth that has a crown, so she doesn't want to disrupt that tooth. So let's just say there was 35 minutes of wrenching involved. I was sore. I'm still sore. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's tender. So far, I don't believe I ever got the dry socket. I was worried about getting dry socket. I was crazy. Today's the first day I'm actually drinking from a straw. I'm pretty sure. I think I'm clear through that. Let me know if I'm not. If I'm being an idiot, let me know. But it's so eating this week was difficult. It's still difficult. I don't chew on that side, but things float over there. So yeah, my week of eating was horrible. I'm going to be honest, it was horrible. It wasn't I ate a lot. It just ate all the wrong things because it's soft. So yeah, I'm up 2 pounds. But you know what? I don't have an excuse. Yeah, I ate. I'm not going to sit there and say, well, no, it doesn't really. You know what? It is what it is. I ate a lot of peanut butter or almond butter in my case. I did. It went down easily. It just was satisfying. Ate a lot of popcorn. Things like, I wanted popcorn, but I was afraid. If your popcorn just disintegrates, the popcorn sometimes has those kernels. I didn't want to it's just a bad week. Ate a lot of Chick-fil-A nuggets. Why did I eat a lot of nuggets? Because I have a bag of nuggets from Chick-fil-A in my freezer. That's why. And I put hot honey on them. It just was a bad week. I'm not going to sit there and sugarcoat it any other way. That's the glory of a journey. There's weeks you have bad weeks, there's weeks you have good weeks. And I'm hoping, to have a good week. And a lot of gluten. Oh yeah, let's forget about that. A lot of gluten. Because gluten's comfort. I had a lot of pancakes. Yeah, okay. Let's get back to our technique. Enough about me. All right, next, they're talking about next month's theme really quickly. November, get in the zone. Time to practice what we put in our place in our October playbook for a successful month. Because we're coming into what? Today is the October 27th, which we're coming into Thanksgiving. Well, Halloween is this week. Oh, I should have wore a costume today, but I don't have one. I hate Halloween. Let's not talk about Halloween. So we got Halloween, you got candy. And then you have Thanksgiving, which we have everything. And then we have, the dreaded December, which, we'll go over all that in a future video, but it's coming up. They're just preparing us for that, giving us some strategies. I know. It's managing high point foods. They say, because they say high point treats, it's not always a treat, but we're going to get into, there's the 4 S's. Skip it, swap it, shrink it, or savor it for those high point indulgences. What is your typical way of handling a high point food? Do you skip it? Do you swap it? Do you shrink it, or do you savor it? Now, I think I do pretty much all of the above. Depends on what it is. Because let's face it, all high point foods are not created equal. There's some that I could skip. There's some I want to savor, like a dessert. Very rarely do I give up a high point dessert. I give up a high point meal before I give up a high point dessert. Let's just put that out there. I'm being honest. And I do shrink it. Sometimes I'll just, like I always say, you could have some of something. You don't have, just because they give you the buffet doesn't mean you have to fill your plate up. You could have a scoop. You could have some, which is sometimes better than none. And a lot of times I swap it. If I'm making it, here, I can swap it. If I'm out, I can't really swap it. I mean, I can. I'm lying. No, I'm lying. I can. Like if I'm out at a restaurant, say we're going to a family dinner, I could swap out pasta for a potato and a vegetable. I do that quite often. Number one, I'm an Italian girl and I've had my share of pasta. So quite honestly, I don't desire to eat it. So yes, if I could swap out that pasta for a baked potato or even a roasted potato and some vegetables, I will do that. Or a side salad or something, I will, because like I said, but that's me. Maybe you love eating pasta and you don't need to, maybe you could shrink that or maybe take half that home. Remember, we don't have to finish our plates. We could box it up. I always say it's best to ask for a box as soon as you get your meal, because if you're like me, sometimes when you're just sitting there, oh, I'm done eating, right? And you're sitting having conversations, you fork it and you realize like, oh my God, I just put that in my mouth. Why'd I do that? It's just, it's just like almost a reflex. So, and if people have anything to say about that, tell them to call me. If they're saying, oh my God, why are you getting a box? You just got your meal. Give them my email and I'll have a conversation with them. I'll do that for you. We're friends. I'll do that for you. But yes, so let's go. It's when we deprive ourselves of certain foods, we're more likely to crave them and end up eating those foods compared to people who don't. Choosing not to eat a certain food without a plan in place for when we do come across it sets us to rely on willpower, which is unreliable. It is. It's one of the superpowers that is unreliable. Creating a plan for when we'll enjoy these foods reduces the need to spend energy trying to force them out of our minds. So maybe if you know where you're going, you could sit there and make a plan. Like, we'll know certain people make certain foods. And you know what? You can sit there and say, well, I'm going to eat 0-point foods in the morning, or I'm going to eat all vegetables before I go, and then have enough points to indulge in her high-calorie foods. Somebody said, skill power over willpower. I loved that. Skill power over willpower, because we have the skills. We know. We just don't have that. It's like, if you rely on yourself to be like, I don't want it. Don't do that to yourself. I think that's, we put too much undue pressure. Find the skills, which is the swap it, shrink it, savor it, and I forgot the other one. But I've already said it. Swap it. What are some go-to swaps you can use? I'm the queen of swaps. And I just said one. The potato and a vegetable for pasta. That's the biggest one, because I feel like potatoes is 0-point food for most people. Vegetables are 0-point food for everybody, depending on what's in them. Now, granted, you're going to get some kind of like butter or something. But you know what? Here's the bottom line. It's still better than the pasta. Even if you have all the oil and butter. I'm saying it's still a better option than the pasta. So I'm always into swapping. I mean, if you ask, sometimes they will be very accommodating. Sometimes you could swap out like certain vegetables. Like if you ever see we go by diners here because that's what we have. like they always offer like 8 choices for your side, and sometimes it's cottage cheese, sometimes it's applesauce. Sometimes it's my favorite is pickled beets. I always get the pickled beets. Sometimes it's tomatoes, there's vegetables, there's usually a potato. I mean, even the cottage cheese would be a nice option. Yes, we don't know what fat it is, but honestly, it's cottage cheese. So don't always go like, oh my gosh, I don't know what the fat is in that yogurt or that cottage cheese. But it's yogurt and cottage cheese. You know, like sometimes it's a better option. And don't go, like I said, I try not to go crazy over things because you'll drive yourself nuts. And, you know, when you drive yourself nuts, that's when we go off plan. Shrink it. What are some treats you could incorporate by shrinking? Now, they say the word treats. I don't know. I can't shrink many treats. It's hard. It's hard to shrink treats. I always say try to walk away from the treats. That always helps because if you're sitting right next to them, they're on the front of you. There's a bowl of M&Ms in front of me. It's not going to end well. Not even like M&Ms. There's the fun fact. I really don't. It's not be something I would choose first. But if it's there, that's all I have, I will eat them. I do prefer the M&Ms with peanuts, though. Almonds are good, too. And the crunchy one. Okay, let's get out. That's a whole other story. But yes, it's funny how you'll eat something that you don't really eat anyway, but because it's there. But yes, definitely shrink your portion. Give yourself permission to have some. But know your limits. And if you can't handle that, shrink it, then avoid it then. If you're like, I can't have a portion of that, know who you are. You're the only one that can know that. I don't know you. The person there doesn't know you. So you know, be the best judge. Like I tend to give my stuff to Steve. If I want like say we're at a place where they have all these cute little desserts and little plates and you can have as much as you want, I'll take like whatever I want and I'll have a bite and I'll give it to him. I'll give it to him. Poor Steve. That's why he's a little chunky. You know what? It works for me. Hey, he could say no, but it does. And he always finishes everything. It's good to have Steve. Or if you have somebody that, you know, grandkids love to split things with grandmom. They do. Actually, I'll go back to this. Let me go back to savor it. What seasonal favorite are you planning on enjoying as is? Like if there's something like everybody says the same thing. Their mother's dressing or stuffing. That is probably at the Zooms I sat in, that was the biggest thing. I make my mother's stuffing the way she made it. Yes, there's like butter in there. It's not really terrible though, but there's 2 sticks of butter when I saute the embarrassing amount of onions and celery. And then I cook up all the chicken innards and I make a stock. So then I use the store-bought Stouffer's bread cubes. I do the sage flavor. So I do usually 2.5 bags. Just depends how much I want to make. Usually it's 2.5 bags. And I chop all the innards too. My kids, it's funny. I told him like, I'm like, yeah, you ever know what's there? He goes, no. I said, there you go. So I chop all that in there. So I put the insane amount of celery and onions. I also cook breakfast sausage. And I put that in there. I chop apples. I put that in there. And I put the broth that I make. And I don't think it's terrible. I have a cup of it. And think about it. Out of all the vat of stuffing, I have 1 cup. It's not as terrible as I like to think it is. But I enjoy it. Because if I had like, it just wouldn't be good. There's people making cauliflower stuffing. Yeah. No. I'd rather have less than have cauliflower stuffing. I would. Cauliflower's never meant to be a stuffing. Even cauliflower knows it. So again, there are certain things you're not going to compromise on. Now, I compromise on my pumpkin pie. I'm not a huge pumpkin pie. I mean, I love pumpkin. But it wasn't something I grew up on that it was like, oh, no. I make my crustless pumpkin pie. It's 1 point a slice, I believe. I'm fine with it. You know, there's the occasional, like, Timmy goes, I like your pie, Mom, but I miss the crust. And it's funny because I'd rather have the whipped cream than the crust. It's all what you want. So I do tweak the pie, but I do not tweak the stuffing. And there's turkey, which is, and I make myself roasted vegetables. I just like it. I love roasted vegetables. Now, the boys, they love the sweet potato casserole, which is, I personally don't like that. I really don't. I never did. My mother always made candied sweets. It was just always, so I make them their casserole, and I make myself, if I decide to have a potato, I will bake myself a sweet potato. Throw some cinnamon on there, a little bit of monk fruit, and may indulge in a little bit of sugar because it's not that much, like maybe a teaspoon. So there, I'm enjoying my Thanksgiving. And yes, some days I eat I eat a roll, and some days years I don't. I just feel like, do I want to roll or do I not want to roll? Just up to me. I allow myself to have one if I choose, but I don't always. I'd rather have the stuffing. It's you, and you enjoy each bite of it, and you eat slow. And like I said, maybe it's your mother's pie that you love, or just something of family food. It's nostalgic, and you should enjoy it. You should savor it, enjoy it. It's a day to enjoy. I'm all about eating what I want on a holiday. I don't sit there and say, "Oh, I'm not tracking." No, I track it, because what's the difference? I eat it, I track it. I'm not embarrassed by it because it's a holiday. And on the holidays, you go above points. It's fine. It's, savor and enjoy that food. Did I say them all? We did savor. I'm trying to look back at my notes here. We did shrink it, swap it. Oh, skip it. Did I say skip it? Yeah, I think I did. I said, I'll go over it again. I'm not sure if I said it, but skip it is, what are some typical treats that show up at this time of year you just want to skip? For me, it's just, like I said, I would skip the dinner roll. I could have dinner rolls anytime, and I don't make my own. So yeah, I buy the yeast ones at Sam's or BJ's. I don't need a roll. I mean, there's just nothing, if I want it, I very rarely skip things that I want. If I'm skipping it, it's not something that's nostalgic. It's not something I want. I'm not going to skip something I really want for the sake, if I want it, I will find a way. I will shrink it most likely, or I will savor it. But again, these are your choices. I can't make the choice. Nobody should make these choices but you. Skill power, not willpower. And these are the skills that you need to get through. We're going to keep talking because it's not going to be the end of this message, because it is going to come up, because that's what this whole month is going to be about. It's going to be putting what we learned in our playbook last month, to incorporate into this month. Like last week was sleep. I know it's kind of like every time I do a video about sleep, it doesn't get well viewed. And I think because people think sleep is huge. It is huge, because when you're well rested, that's when you can make these choices, because you're not running on empty. And a lot of us have a problem with sleep. I always say, talk to your doctor about it. He can give you tips. He can give you, there's certain herbs or things you can take over the counter that help with sleep, things like melatonin and all that. I don't typically, that's hard for me because I don't have a problem sleeping. So I do understand that people do. But I think that is something you really should try to look into, just to help yourself. I mean, like I said, there's nothing better than a good night's sleep when you could face things head on and have the energy to deal with all this, skip it, swap it, and all this fun stuff. But I caught a new coach I wanted to talk to you about yesterday. I've never seen her. I really enjoyed her meeting. Her name is Coach Casina. She was no nonsense. I loved it. Now, she was on Sunday. I think it was either, I want to say it was 3:30, 3 or 3:30. That's when I watched her. But I really enjoyed her. So it's Cassina, Coach Casina. Because you always ask me who I enjoy watching. And she's new. Well, new for me. I don't think she's new. She's new for me. I enjoyed the whole vibe of the meeting. It was really good. And I think you guys would enjoy her. She kind of reminds you of me a little bit. But maybe a little sassier than me. I know. All right, my lovelies, that is it. Let me know how your week went. What do you think of skill power versus willpower? What do you think of this skip it, swap it, savor it, shrink it? I mean, it makes sense, because it's basically saying you have skills. Those are the skills. Instead of just trying to rely on, I'm just not, willpower never works, especially around family, because family pressures you. People pressure you. And under pressure, we sometimes cave. I mean, there's people that don't, but I think there's a lot of people that do, because we're made to. They want to. It's sad to say that some people want us to fail, although use the additive. Enjoy yourself. It's the holidays. I am enjoying myself. Why is it I have to overeat for you to see that I'm enjoying myself? That's why community is so important. Having people that understand you is so important, to be able to come onto the Facebook group, Just with These Crew. come join us if you have not over on Facebook. To put in there, I'm having a bad day, or you come in there and you vent, or maybe you're at the party and you just need somebody to tell you it's okay, and you put a post in. And sometimes if you put like an SOS, like before it in capital letters, you'll get a bigger response. SOS, I need help. 911, I need help. And somebody will come back. And it might be me, it might not, it might be I know several people, but somebody I guarantee you will respond to you. And if you just need that pat on the back, put it in there. That's what it's there for. So let me know how your week went. What did you do right this week? I did a lot of things wrong last week, but it is what it is, and we just move on. So if you enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have a comment below. If you're not, hit that subscribe button. Join us here, Dish with D, where we talk, WW and all things beyond. Weight loss is weight loss no matter what plan you follow. And remember, you do not have to be on Weight Watchers to be a subscriber or follow this channel. I try to give advice that works for any way of cutting back. You choose what you follow. It's not my place to say. But all right, my lovelies, if you know anybody that could benefit from this video, give it a share. I will see you, my lovelies, in a vlog very soon. Bye-bye. Take care and skill power.